Hey, this is a desk that we have at a Holiday Inn. We have some lights, we have some advertising, but one thing I noticed is there's no USB ports. So I'm gonna see if we can't make this a little bit better and show you how that works. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna add a Cayman Connect hub. And what that allows us to do is to charge our devices. You can have a number of different cables on here. We've got just the two right now. We've got one for Apple devices and one for Android, micro USB for Android. There's the ports in the back. And so if we want to do the basics, such as charging, obviously we would take a cable, connect it, and if you hear that little beep there, we're now charging our device. I don't know if you can see that, but up there we are getting a charge for just plugging it in. So at the very base level we can do this, so we can put our devices in the stand, but we're going to get a little bit more fancy and show you what else we can do. So suppose we want to get a little bit more creative, and we're just going to move this guy back. Sorry about that. Get him up. Set this up a little bit. Okay. So we're going to add a USB device here that lets us do much more than just charge our phones. So suppose we would like to do some other things, such as Wi-Fi connectivity. We would plug in another device into the hub, and what we did before, as far as having access to this device, we'd want to be able to control it remotely. So now if you look here, I'm using another device that's controlling this device. Why would we do that? Well, we might want to be on our bed or somewhere else, and we'd like to bring up certain applications that are already pre-configured within the room. We want to check out the weather, but we don't want to necessarily, or we may not have a particular app that we want to run that's on our device. And of course we can always come back to the original here, and we can do whatever we want to, and that'll get reflected back onto this device. So we have synchronization as well as control that normally we wouldn't be able to have. And this device is actually connected and getting its internet access from here without having to have a separate internet connection. The one thing that would have helped also with this is, if you notice, we've got a wired connection into, below the desk, a Wi-Fi access port. That Wi-Fi access port is completely unnecessary with the Cayman Connect hub, because you can have the same functionality if you just plug the Cayman Connect hub into the wall also through the Cat5 cabling. So you can get Wi-Fi, you can get control of all the apps locally within the room, and you can also get charging, and it's a much more aesthetic picture than what you can have with just having a simple Wi-Fi access port within the room. All of the same features as Wi-Fi, less cost and more functionality. And just to show one more thing, say you'd like to use a workstation now. So again, with the same hub, we've now got a keyboard with a mouse attached, and we're just going to open up Internet Explorer and show you how that works. So just as you would as an office, you'd want to type in, let's give it a sec here. You'd want to type in your favorite websites. And you're now a desktop workstation, checking out the news, checking out whatever else is going on. All of these features are over and above what you normally do, obviously, when just charging your mobile phones. And the flexibility is there to configure it in any way you'd like. We even go so far as, say, we want to have extra lighting. So now we're going to plug in a light, and we can have multiple lights, any design or function we would like. So now we've just incorporated lighting. As opposed to this lighting, we could have separate lighting that we prefer for our device. In addition, if we want to replace these cards, we could also do the same by having custom slides in to give either instructions on how to use the Cayman Connect, or as you have here, advertising for breakfast. All of these capabilities and all these features are built in. Whether you use them or not, it's up to you, but the flexibility is there. Again, it can be as simple as a charger, or it can be full featured as we just demonstrated. That's the power and the benefit of the Cayman Connect's hubs. They give the user, they give the guest an experience they haven't had before, and the flexibility is there, and the cost saving is there. It's a great deal for the hospitality guest, it's a great deal for the hotel owners, and obviously a great deal for the brand.